into youth.
Leaving my hometown behind, I set out for the capital of the Empire. There, I would discover my role in society.
Chapter 3. Youth. Leaving home. The driver flicks the reins. The carriage slowly sways as it starts moving away from your home. You stick your head out the window and wave goodbye to your family. Nathan is running after the carriage with Thomas' younger brother in tow, tears glistening in their eyes. It hurts to leave your home behind. Ahead lies Eterna, the imperial capital. You have often read about it and heard stories from Father and Stefan. It is a city that surpasses Anazote enormously in terms of size, age, wealth, and beauty. But what is it really like? What kind of life awaits you there? What will you learn there, and where will your actions take you? You pass the old walls of Anazote. Somewhere within them is the old fortress you and Thomas built together out of old wooden planks, now left to the care of your younger brothers. You two are adults now. Perhaps your fortress will crumble, now abandoned. Or perhaps your brothers will continue what you started. Who knows? You look down at your hands. Knuckles covered in scars from street antics, fingers stained with ink. Mother gave you a cross to wear away from home, and now you can feel its warmth against your chest. Your family counts on you, even though they all wish a different future for you. But they are behind you now, in Anazote. From this point on, only you will decide which road you will take. This is the journey you prepared for throughout your entire childhood. Ahead of you lie many years in the capital, years that will determine your fate and your place in society. Intriguing. New personal qualities. These are your personal qualities in adulthood, which you will use for the rest of your life. They are some of the qualities that you have gained in childhood and adolescence. For most skill checks, you will need a value between 10 and 16. Values 17 to 19 are required for rare and especially difficult choices. The maximum value 20 only gives you a chance for one extraordinary deed. Okay, good to know. And I guess right now, since we're at a bit of a break in the narrative, I should mention that this is actually as far as I have ever gotten. So going forward, this is all new to me as it is to you, because when the little demo thing came out, I personally on my own played all the way through it, and that was only chapters 1 and 2. So now we are in brand new territory, and I'm very excited to see what it has to offer us. In any case, our combination of 5 perception and 9 nobility is giving us 14 diplomacy. That is between 10 and 16, so that's good. Decent, anyways. 5 perception and 3 ingenuity has given us 8 manipulation, so we're actually quite naive there. Probably won't be manipulating very many people in adulthood. 5 perception and 5 spirituality has given us 10 theology, which allows us to be a follower, I guess. So we might be able to do some stuff with theology, but probably not much. 4 determination and 9 nobility has given us 13 valor, which has made us a seasoned warrior. So that's something we could potentially get some skill checks with. 4 determination and 3 ingenuity has given us a 7 in scheming. Very inexperienced, our worst stat thus far. Probably not going to do a bunch of scheming. 4 determination and 5 spirituality has given us 9 eloquence. We are tongue-tied, so not the best speaker. Okay, so just to recap, I guess we have, what, like 2 stats that are good? Wait, hold on. We're okay at diplomacy. I think we were decent at valor. And I think that was actually it. There might have been one more. Oh, theology we're maybe barely passable at. Okay. Okay, interesting. Chapter 3, Youth. Yes. Life paths that you will choose from this chapter. So we've got the Path of the Lawless, which will allow you remain in the common estate with no choice but to fend for yourself and make your own way in the world. Yikes. Path of the Priest. We need at least 10 theology or 10 eloquence. We have that, and we will need to enroll in the seminary if that's what we want. Now granted, given that theology is only just barely passable for us, I'm not really sure priests is what we want to do, but we could technically do it. The path of the nobleman. Oh, that we're cut out for. 10 diplomacy, 10 valor. We've got both of those. So, but we will need to enroll in the college to get that. So we'll need to keep note of that. And then there's true death. Yeah, we probably don't want to do that. So yeah. Oh my, and there's personal life events. We can, I don't even know who this Alice is, but we can apparently rescue her if her death is prevented. There's collapse of the Lotless. Secret society is betrayed, and you go the path of the Lotless. So looks like okay. The Lotless at large. Got outwit. Okay, we can't do that because we don't have the manipulation. Bond of friendship. Okay. Interesting. Shield of the New Faith. Okay. You would need to be a priest for that. Shield of the Old Faith. Again, we would need to be a priest. Victory in the tournament. We didn't do the fencing lesson. Huh. Okay, then there's... Okay, this is just the personality. And I guess, it sounds like that's, like, we're stuck with that for the rest of our lives. Like, I'm not sure if we've got really any stat manipulation going forward, so... I mean, there might be a bit, but it seems like that's mostly behind us now. So now that we've molded ourselves into a... Hopefully... At least, I think we could actually pull off nobility quite well with how we've molded ourselves in childhood and adolescence. And I guess we'll see where life takes us. Let's go! The year is 1134. Arrival in the capital. It takes a whole month to reach Eterna. You and Thomas spend the days wagging your chins and staring at the scenery as your carriage makes its way along the road and towards the next province. Apparently, we didn't pack a book, which, would have been quite nice. Anyways, it soon crosses from the familiar, barren, arid lands of Magra to the stately mountains of Illyria. Okay, there's no D there. Illyria. During one of your many stays at a roadside inn, the two of you even managed to share a whole bottle of strong wine and keep it a secret from the servant who drives the carriage. Adult life feels positively intoxicating. Pun perfectly intended. Oh, he even has a new picture now. That makes sense because he's an adult. Soon, I tell you, we'll be there. And I'll end my sword as soon as I get accepted into the military academy. You'll see. And then, nobody's gonna walk over me like I'm some commoner. You keep rehearsing everything they taught you in school. Soon, you are almost at the end of your long journey. You've left behind the arid rocks of Magra, the mountains of Illyria, and the flooded meadows of Archnia. Eterna, the capital, is right ahead. Situated at the junction between the Reglata and Taurina rivers, the city is vast. 3 majestic stone bridges keep its 3 shores interconnected. Smooth stone paves the main city streets. Gilded moldings decorate the buildings. Towering pillars reach high into the sky. Your carriage takes you past a spacious park with marble fountains and intricately trimmed bushes. On the streets, you see ornately decorated carriages bearing Archnian coat of arms, and abundant merchants' tents, filling the streets with beckoning cries and unusual sights. The spires of ancient temples dot the city skyline. The carriage comes to a halt on a large city square with a towering marble fountain. The coachman says you have arrived. Thomas is to apply to the military academy. The academy barracks are 2 streets away. Your lodging house is in the alleyway nearby. A room has already been reserved for you. You get out onto the street and say brief goodbyes to each other. You promise to meet again after the entrance exams. Then your friend disappears into the crowded streets of the capital. You're left to your own devices in this vast city. A group of nobles walk past. They are dressed in well-fitting clothing, decorated with gems and golden thread. You're not even noticed. Street urchins chase a dog down the alleyway. Soldiers of the Imperial Legion are marching to fifes and drums toward the barracks. If that's an instrument, I'm not familiar with it. Humble pilgrims are gathering to the great temple of the twins. There are the sounds of music and fountains and the smells of baked bread and garbage drains. You quickly check in at the lodging house, then go back outside. The sun is setting. The streetlights come to life. Merry music fills the taverns. Couples and noble coaches with tinted windows fill the streets. Shadows and hushed voices and laughter fill the parks. You're alone with this city, so vast and unfamiliar. You take a look around, determined to fill your first night in the capital with memories. You see young nobles gathered by the fountain, talking and making jokes excitedly. One of them keeps glancing at the clock tower. They're about your age. Their clothes are hand-tailored, and 2 of them bear noble swords. They seem to be waiting for something. It might be a good idea to make their acquaintance. It would be most helpful to develop a familiarity with the influential nobles of the capital. Loud music from a large establishment on the corner distracts you for a moment. The servants have just opened the shutters to air out the hall. It seems there will be a gathering inside. People from various estates greet each other as they take their seats. A servant by the door of the establishment hails you. Sir Gert Arkwright will be making a speech about the rights of the common estate. If you wish to listen, you'd better get inside quickly. Then you look at the great temple of the twins at the far end of the street. The pillar shines in the evening dusk above it. The temple gates are open, and worshippers are flocking inside. There are too many people for an ordinary service. This must be something important. What do they preach here in the capital? What do they say of the new faith and the teachings of Patriarch Fotis? You snap out of your reverie when you hear loud laughter. A group of young men dressed in colors of the Imperial College have made the acquaintance of several lovely girls. They are making their way down the road, united by merriment. One of the girls smiles at you. It is an invitation to join them. They turn the corner and walk away, but you can still hear their voices ringing and echoing through the streets. A night of revelry and jolly. Loud fun doesn't sound half bad. This is your first night in Eterna. No matter what you choose, you will remember it for a long time to come. Alright, we can meet the nobleman youths. Oh, we can get our stats up further. Oh. Good to know. Okay, we can meet the nobleman youths, which would gain us more diplomacy and manipulation. We can listen to the Arkwright's speech, which would gain us some eloquence and manipulation. Visit the great temple of the twins, theology and eloquence. Run after the students, bit of willpower. I wouldn't mind getting my eloquence up to 10. Wouldn't mind getting my diplomacy a bit higher as well. Although, we don't know what's coming up. It might be a good idea to just enjoy ourselves this first night, get some willpower, that way we can make some decisions that really matter later on. It's either that to me or the Arkwright speech, just because that does push us up to 10, which, in eloquence, which would be useful, potentially. But if we aren't going for the priest thing, which we probably still wouldn't, then that might not actually be all that relevant. We'll run after the students. We'll have some fun. The students' merriment is infectious. You join their group, they are almost your age, maybe 1 or 2 years older. You see so many faces, and soon you are in a tavern somewhere in the city, getting to know so many people at a massive table. So many people you do not even bother to remember their names now, and the wine, it flows like water. A lively tune is playing in the tavern. A girl, just a little bit older than you, pulls you off your seat to dance. Her dress is unbuttoned a bit more than it is supposed to be. She smells of wine and honey. You copy her motions in the dance as your hand clasps her waist. It slides lower of its own accord. She pulls away suddenly and stares into your eyes, and then kisses you on the lips. You are startled at first, but soon you respond to the kiss as you pull her soft, supple body even closer to you. You spend all night dancing, only returning to the table to catch your breath and quench your thirst. The girl keeps embracing you and laughing and pouring even more wine into your glass. Yes, not just one glass, multiple. We're drinking tonight! You feel at ease, you feel carefree, you feel happy. You do not remember returning to the lodging house. Your head and legs are aching in the morning. You can barely remember the names of last night's companions. After some consideration, you choose to remain in bed for the rest of the new day. But we're full of power now, so worth it. You arrived in Eterna, the ancient capital of the blessed Arcanian Empire. Oh, a sermon. Luke's sermon. You have spent the last 3 days studying books, but today you decide to take a walk through the streets of Eterna. They are full of life as usual. You proceed to the square next to the lodging house. A procession of priests walks through the square. You notice that one of them holds a banner of the new faith, an open book. This is the same banner that was behind Patriarch Fotis on the day of his assassination. A crowd immediately gathers around them. Many people are looking at an icon painting on a small pedestal, depicting a gray-haired man with glowing green eyes. You recognize that face. The face of the late Patriarch Fotis. A man with a thick beard appears by the icon painting. His broad shoulders bear a white and gold cloak, with the coat of arms of the capital province embroidered on it. He is Luke, Patriarch of Arcania. He casts his stern gaze over the crowd. I speak to all who live within sight of the Shining Pillar. Exactly 1 year ago, we lost Fotis, Patriarch of the Magra Province, mentor of the New Faith. Patriarch Fotis was the first to see the books of Isadius for nothing but the words of a man, not the words of the twins themselves. He was the first to tell people to seek the path to the gods in their own hearts instead of blindly following the lots. To seek answers in the lives of the twins and their own hearts, rather than the words of priests. Through Patriarch Fotis, we were able to see the truth. Through his death, we saw that his words are not heresy. They are the truth, that used to be obscured by Asatius's lies. And now, I bring good news. Patriarch Junius Diamant has seen to it that our teacher will be canonized as a saint. Yes, Junius Diamant, an Arcanian from a great dynasty, and the Patriarch of Astinia, has joined the new faith himself. And through this we hope that the entire empire will soon see that our doctrine is the truth. We are free from the shackles of the lots. We are equal before the twins. With each day, more and more people hearken to the truth. And one day, the entire empire will hear our call. So let us pray, my brothers. The believers around you bow their heads in prayer and thank the twins, not for the lot they were given, as they usually would, but for the chance to choose their own path. The Patriarch's sermon is inspiring. It compels your hands to meet in a sign of prayer. It compels your lips to repeat the words of the new faith. Patriarch Luke's sermon forms a cadence, and your heart beats in time with it now. You recall the murder of Patriarch Fotis a year ago. It seems more patriarchs share his doctrine now. The news of Junius Diamant joining the new faith is stunning. If an Arcanian from a great dynasty has sided with Fotis' doctrine, and agreed to see everyone as equals under the twins, the new faith must truly be putting down roots. But suddenly, several figures appear by the podium, figures clad in black with glinting silver on their sides. Inquisitors. They push through the crowd and form a circle around Patriarch Luke. One of these priests rises before the crowd. He is clean-shaven, tall, with chiseled features. Everyone falls silent at the sight of him. The Inquisitor speaks with a booming voice that can be heard by all. I am Father Ulrich. In the name of the twins and by my right as an Inquisitor, I order you to turn around and leave. The words you are hearing are full of lies. Patriarch Luke has set out to poison your hearts and minds, and the Inquisition will not allow this heresy to spread. The only true path in life is the will of the twins. Life offers us no other choice. You are hereby ordered to disperse at once. Most people leave the square immediately. Few want to get involved with the Inquisition. Some people stay, however, and some even shout angrily, "We want to listen to Luke! He is a patriarch of the Arcania, and he has more to say! Get away from our sermon, old believers! We'll not listen to you and your hoary old lies of the lots." Inquisitors, bring those who may yet listen back to their lots, and leave the others to the champions of the faith. The black-clad Inquisitors descend from the podium and approach the people who chose to stay. With nothing but their words, they make people stop shouting and start listening. The uproar ceases quickly. They have dissected the crowd, split it up in smaller groups that surround each Inquisitor. One of these Inquisitors chooses to approach you. He is a humble-looking man of age, with a rough haircut. He looks you straight in the eye, as his lively, soulful voice forces you to listen to his words, despite yourself. My name is Father Jeremiah. I know your thoughts were stirred by the Patriarch's words. You're not sure whom to trust, but I teach at the seminary. I have been studying the teachings of the twins my entire life. You can trust me. I know you can hear what I have to say. I see their light in your eyes, the light of the true faith. We listen to my counsel, my son. You feel no malice in the words of Inquisitor Jeremiah, only hope. It is his lot to aid you, to guide you away from error and set you on the path of the true faith. He is a priest, so he should know the truth. Or perhaps the Inquisitor himself is in the wrong. What can I do here? I can listen to his counsel, which would gain me some theology. I could debate him, which would gain me some eloquence, get that up to 10. It's not bad. Or I could resist him and gain some diplomacy. Yeah, we're new in the capital. I see no reason not to start off with a good old-fashioned debates. And that would get our eloquence up to 10, which I like having it at that bare minimum threshold at least. Our diplomacy's already... We could make our diplomacy even better, though. Because it's worth noting, while we do have a few stats that are in that, like, bare minimum, like, yeah, we can technically do some stuff range, we don't have... I don't think we actually have anything that's in that, like, higher tier of, like, yeah, you're actually quite exceptionally skilled range. Which might be worthwhile. On the other hand, I am intending to go on the academy route and try to go with the whole, like, nobility route. I imagine on that path I'll probably have more opportunities to increase the diplomacy as well as whatever the other stat was. What is... Valor, yes. So under that logic, presumably I'll have more time and opportunities to get those stats up, so maybe I should take the opportunity for eloquence before I've really completely abandoned that path. So we'll debate. We'll engage in some theological discussions. You start debating the Inquisitor, mustering all your knowledge and awareness of the new faith. The lots are an error introduced by Esatius. They are incorrect, obsolete, and contrary to the way of the modern empire. Please, hear me out, my son. In these difficult times, people of your estate are the ones most tormented by doubt. Your lot is suffering, but not all of you are ready to suffer. Some turn to guile, and cunning to avoid it, and they end up in eternity's embrace at the foot of the pillar. Please understand, your lot requires humility. Suffering is inevitable, and so is doubt. Each of them may temper your soul, yet each may also destroy it. But know this, if you have doubts, you are always welcome at the temple. No priest will turn you away in a moment of weakness. This is why we exist, to fortify faith in the hearts of all people, to bring the word of the twins to those who have gone astray. Know this, the Inquisition does not imprison everyone suspected of heresy. We exist to protect souls, to guide and save them. We pursue dangerous doctrines and seek to rescue every soul we meet. Arrest or execution is our last resort, reserved only for sinners beyond redemption. You can see that I am merely speaking to you right now. I have not resorted to force, nor am I giving you any orders. Do not resist this, but rather consider the following. Did the patriarch speak the truth? You answer that Luke's sermon was far more convincing than Father Jeremiah's words. Everyone blindly heeds the writings of Asadius, who is but one man who decided he had the right to define the lives of generations to come. But people have the right to free will, you say. They have the right to choose their destiny and bear the burden of their choice. Father Jeremiah sighs in response. It saddens me to see that you have been led astray so easily. Yet you are young. You should seek to learn the truth on your own. If you truly believe you can interpret the will of the gods, perhaps you should become a priest yourself. If you come to the Divine Seminary and prove you deserve the lot of the clergy, you will be accepted. I teach there, and I am always happy to see students of considerable talents, even if they have been led astray. But for now, you should leave this place. You will learn nothing by facing the champions of the faith. With this, Father Jeremiah leaves you and proceeds further. You leave the square freely, your dignity preserved. The remaining people in the square continue arguing with the other inquisitors. Armed champions of the faith stand nearby, but they do not intervene. Luke and his retinue can no longer be seen. You walk back to the lodging house, mulling over Father Jeremiah's words about the seminary. Your family has sent you to earn a noble title, but you have an opportunity to become a priest of the old faith or the new. If you see your destiny in service to the gods, no one has the right to stand in your way. There we go. We've got clear speech now. Wonderful.